evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the world of VGamingJunkie news. This is a dross-free product as certified by me. There's nothing but pure gaming-related meatiness. It's all about the electronic good stuff as we dive deep in all that's new in the various interactive virtual worlds. We start out this news program with some very interesting news regarding Red Dead Redemption 2. It seems the online mode is going to be made into its own standalone component, which will cost $20. Through February 15th of next year, though, it'll be discounted to $5. Now don't worry, Rockstar isn't pulling the wool over your heads. Obviously, if you already bought Red Dead Redemption 2, it still comes with the online mode. This is just an extra option for people like me who don't yet own the game. $5 is certainly a very good price for the expansive online Wild Western world. It's definitely on my radar. Now for a bit of bad news. Cuphead's The Delicious Last Course DLC has been delayed with the pandemic cited as the cause. For those of you living in a cave who aren't aware, Cuphead is a side-scroller shooter that mechanically wise reminds me of Contra more than anything else, but I haven't actually played it so I can't really judge accurately. What I can say is that it's stated to be a bit on the challenging side and it has old-timey cartoon graphics. Not old-school games with pixelated graphics as indie games tend to be. I'm talking tube arms and very exaggerated animations. While it's unfortunate to see the DLC pushed back, I have to applaud them for wanting to value the quality of their product over just rushing it out to make a profit. I wish them all the best and hope the DLC is amazing when it does come out. So in other news, The Last of Us 2 won the Golden Joysticks multiple times over. Anyone else surprised? Because I sure wasn't. It won Game of the Year in addition to Best Visual Design, Best Storytelling, Best Audio, Best on PlayStation, and Naughty Dog got Best Studio. Honestly, I called this from the start. While the game has been extremely divided among fans, professional critics near universally praised it, so it's no shocker to me that an industry award show would favor the opinions of people in the industry. Honestly though, I think it winning multiple awards was just a tad greedy and obvious. Personally, of the games I played that came out this year, my game of the year is Doom Eternal hands down. I'd make an awards video myself, but I honestly haven't played enough games from this year for that. So in other news, Phil Spencer has renounced the console wars, calling it tribalism. He's quoted as saying those hating on the other consumer product is one of the worst things to happen to the industry. While I can understand the sentiment, I think he's looking in the wrong place. The game companies themselves have been stirring the pot for decades, as early back as the Sega vs. Nintendo days. Anyone remember Genesis does what Nintendo don't? How about blast processing? Sony had a Crash Bandicoot mascot telling Nintendo their days are numbered, not to mention the jabs Sony took with their PS3 ads. All I'm saying is you can't really point the finger at customers when companies themselves have been stoking these console wars for their own gain for a long time now. If you create a monster and then complain when it steps on a few buildings, that's just petty, I'm just saying. And speaking of Xbox, as of the 25th at least, there's an Xbox Live bug that allows hackers to see email addresses registered to a gamertag. I hope none of you used personal email addresses with your gamertag, otherwise you might want to look into it. Now, I can understand consoles having minor bugs on release, but this is pretty freaking huge when it puts the privacy of their entire user base in jeopardy. This is one of those things you kinda want to do right, especially since Xbox Live has been around for a long time. You'd think such a glaring bug would have been prevented by now, but I suppose that's technology for you in a way. There's always new bugs and problems you couldn't have predicted. I should know, I programmed in Unity before, and that's just programming C# in a game engine. Don't get me wrong, this is still wildly unacceptable, and Microsoft better fix it fast. And as always, from Game Radar's page, it's time for this week's round of release dates. There aren't any real releases until December begins. The first sees Chronos Before the Ashes for all 4 platforms plus Stadia and Empire's Sin for all 4 platforms. This is followed up by Twin Mirror Lost on Arrival for PC, PS4, and Xbox One, and Worms Rumble for PC, PS4, and PS5. The second sees Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 5 released for the Big 4 and the 2 new systems, as well as Sam & Max Save the World Remastered for PC and Switch. The third actually sees quite a number of releases, starting with Dead Tales for Switch and El Hijo of Wild West Tale for PC and Stadia. This is followed up by Immortal Phoenix Rising for everything, old and new, including Stadia, Morbid the 7 Acolytes for the Big 4, and Phoenix Point Year 1 Edition for PC. Still not done, next is Shiren the Wanderer, the Tower of Fortune and the Dice of Fate, as well as Startup Panic for PC. Finally, Taiko no Tatsujin Rhythmic Adventure Pack and Tinkertown for Switch round out the third lineup. This week's epic freebie is Mud Runner, basically an off-road all-terrain simulator. And as always, that rounds out this news week. I hope you enjoyed and were well enough informed. As always, I Let's Play every single day, 10 a.m. and 2 p.m, live stream Mondays and Fridays unless otherwise specified at 4:30 p.m, and these news programs are Saturday at 6 p.m. That's Eastern Standard Time. You can always subscribe and super missile that bell icon if you don't want to have to worry about keeping track of time zones and all that stuff. Making matters even better is that I recently got a super turbocharged internet speed upgrade, allowing me to live stream at 1080p 60 frames per second. A like is always appreciated for those algorithms, but I just hope you genuinely liked it, and that is it for now. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. Spread this video around like next-gen bugs, and I'll see you next time. Remember to capitalize on life, peace out, have a good one, and I'll see you next Saturday.